this may actually just be the greed option where they're like, you know, I think we're a little bit behind. They pushed Matthew onto the Doombringer, so they are going to run that support Doom and the offlane SK, and they could just throw him into the jungle, get a huge farm up on him, rotate in towards the mid, and then just give the advantage that way. Alright, this is one I've never seen before in predictions. We're going to help everyone who's tuning in right now. Predictions, first player with a triple kill.
I'll do Storm, I think, on that.
You gonna go Storm?
Yeah, I think so. Storm or Troll. We're gonna see a triple kill by Storm, so if they get ahead in the fight, Storm can clean up. I'll do Storm.
I'll go Troll, just to be different.
Alright. Highest magic or pure damage?
Done to heroes by 10 minutes into the game. It's a shame we don't have a Darkseer to help us out in this front. This is actually a little bit more different. Prosta! Sorry, I love that one.
I think Puck on this.
You'd say Puck? You wouldn't think, I suppose, like, Shaman Shocks wouldn't be enough.
It's not going to be enough. I think Puck is, on paper, the hero that should win this one. That doesn't mean he does.
And then it's going to be a Storm Spirit that does it.
Yeah, it's a bit hard for Storm to do a lot of magic damage before 10 minutes, though. He doesn't really start doing magic damage.
And he doesn't do it to heroes, he does it to the creep
Exactly.
wave.
Until he's level 6, he doesn't do it to heroes.
Player with the highest total physical damage done to heroes at the end of the game. Troll. It's just... It looks just
player
to be
with
too
most
obvious.
kills at minute 10. Huh.
Well, that's a little bit more... We've got 15 seconds to decide this. We've got time. No one's going to engage anywhere, so we're good.
I'll do Shadow Shaman.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see. I think that safe lane of theirs is going to be pretty... Or actually, they're aggroing. Oh well, too late.
Okay.
I picked.
Yeah, and I actually panic picked as well. I picked Victoria.
Okay, who's that?
I'm like scrolling
Which
down and
hero
just
is
like,
that?
I'm thinking about the map. It's the Nyx Assassin.
Alright, well that's... I think that one is less likely. So the reason I wanted to pick Shaman is that I think this game is going to be fairly quiet the first 10 minutes, and then I was like, which lane is going to kill? And I think it's going to be the Shaman Troll lane that will kill, and then the other shock will be the finishing move. So that was my logic behind it. We'll see if that ends up happening. So,
well, we are currently replaying the story of every sad intel hero in the mid, where Nyx Assassin comes in, mana burns, and then the lane is just very, very sad. But full lane switch up, Trolls up on top. Magnus is taking a while to get down to the bottom where Benjaz is fighting, and Acel has already rotated himself up to the top lane, so King Tekka and Acel will work together as the SK and the Rubik on the top against Troll and Shaman.
I like how Infamous has set their laning up here. I think it's very important that the Sand King gets to play a matchup like this, where he has help, or that he is at least in the safe lane. Because if he was
Tomato, you committed to that? He's going to actually get hit down. One more attack from Victoria will do the work, and he actually takes first blood in the mid lane. He came in for the range creep. He orbed to get the range creep while taking damage from Victoria. It already mana burned him. But it was the fact he orbed to farm and now has this double wave pushing underneath his tower.
At least he makes it back in time to get the experience, but yeah, that's so annoying. No, man. Playing against mana burn is so annoying. Maybe he's already just so annoyed that he was like, I need to get CS, and he was willing to risk it.
I accept the fact I'm going to die in order to get a range creep.
I'm pretty sure he didn't do it knowing he would die. Thought he would get away with it.
Hey, great choice on Victoria now, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Kills. He's going to rotate up towards the top lane. Acel getting slowed down by the range axes. Yao cannot get in range to get the shackle off, however. So Acel makes it back in range of his tier 1 tower to relative safety. That's that bottom lane looking. Magnus going 9-0 against the Juggernaut.
Yeah, Mag will have a damage advantage. Oh, nice skewer by 11.
Okay, well, Benjaz takes a lot of extra damage he wasn't intending on.
He's going to foul here.
Yeah.
He has a good amount of regen on the Juggernaut, so it's okay for him, but nice play by 11 there to very quickly identify the skewer was an option.
Alright, so at least Tomato's getting his own back in the mid now. He's actually ahead of CS. The creep wave equilibrium is going the way of Somnus now, so he's able to farm underneath the tower. So he'll come back once more. But Tomato wants to be able to fight. Like, he's buying a salve. It's taking him forever to get to his bottle. And Victoria just removed most of his life and mana. Nyx being Nyx.
Yes. Very, very, very annoying for the Puck right now. Now he's going to see the Doom. Doom is not going to see him, though. Wonder if he can use this information for anything. He might just leech. Yep, he's going to leech half that experience. Very nice for him. But overall, this... I think that when you look at the draft, this game will be a little quiet in the start because the Doom has been run jungle and the LGD lineup wants to farm up. They want the Mag to get levels, they want the Storm to get levels, and the Troll to get levels before they start really looking for moves. So
yep,
it's going to be fairly low on kills here in the beginning.
And so we just watched the CS counter and the only one rotating hero, which is Victoria, because he's going to make life again a living hell for the mid. Walks in.
Smoke of Doom.
I suppose Doom can see him, hits him with an Infernal Blade. It's a level 2 Nyx
here.
only, and Storm Spirit puts down the Remnants to try and create a little... Okay, that's actually just a farm. I thought he might do it a little bit aggressively just to keep Infamous out. The one in the river does that. So, Victoria, he's got one mana burn left, and then we'll probably go back to base. Doesn't want to get too close, but then again, how do you even initiate? Matthew can't close the distance fast enough.
Oh. He needs to be careful not to get stunned there. Could have hurt a lot. He's fine though. He's gonna go toward the bottom rune. Oh, is he? Oh, okay, it looked like he was gonna go for the bounty rune first. That would have been pretty bad. But
He's got the haste rune, he can take both now.
yeah. It's important he gets this rune away from the Storm. Storm will go for the bounty rune instead. I think a clutch play there from the Doom would have been to run down and steal that one. And then run toward his own because he had the haste. He could have got both runes. But
And SL and King Tekka, they've burnt through so many consumables on this top lane. Like, there's a salve, and only a salve left on the Rubik. You thought they were going to play around mid?
yeah, Matthew was getting body blocked by the Nyx a bit, and then Nyx turned to try to stun him, and then he ran so fast they didn't even reach anyway. That's haste rune for you. But yeah, the lanes are going very well for LGD here. They're actually...
There's Matthew's rotation, turns on Scorched Earth, goes for the clap plus Infernal Blaze. Storm Spirit slowed down, and maybe... Actually, the Remnant's done too much damage, allowing him to get back, and now shackles him in, and Victoria! Panic pick for the victory! He's actually able to get his secondary kill onto Matthew, hiding in the trees. Orb flies down from Tomato, dropping him low. King Tekka really wants this under the tower. Is able to find the kill. So Victoria will give up his life. King Tekka once more. Mango being consumed so he can go onto the Storm Spirit. The Orb's under damage. Matthew charging in further, but they've already got another kill onto King Tekka. Somnus, a little bit more damage, doesn't have enough. Victoria comes in with the mana burn, looking for his third kill of the game so far. Tomato. Oh no! He actually missed path, turned around a little bit. Yao gets his hit
Let's
in
go,
with
Yao.
the shock. Yao will take the kill.
Alright, he needs another one though.
And now it's 4-2 as Infamous. You know, the second you say you just say it's going to be a slow game again, Cinderin, just so we can have a couple more kills.
Yeah, that was very unexpected, this Carnage in the mid lane. Overall, it ends up favoring LGD slightly.
11, Somnus now jumping in on the bottom lane, chasing after Matthew. 11 taking way too much damage from Benjaz's Blade Fury, but he gets up into the tree line. Matthew underneath the tower takes too much himself, and Benjaz is on the run. One shockwave from 11, he's holding it, allowing Somnus to get the double kill and take the glory from Victoria.
Yeah, nice rotation there from Somnus, very quickly identifying that there's help needed bottom. Magnus is a fairly tanky here. Oh,
King
maybe not this
Tekka.
tanky. That's a good stun.
Skewer. It's going to pull him underneath the tower. I think Storm might think about jumping this. He just picked up a regeneration rune, so he can go underneath the tower and drag King Tekka back in if he wants to. He did go for that. Actually, he doesn't have the early point up in Vortex. Getting Burrow Strike that's not going to help. Shackle able to reach that range. Yep, that's the accurate range.
All right, now Storm is leading, so we were both losing.
Who did you have?
I had Shaman. I really didn't think there was going to be this much movement minute 6 from the Storm Spirit, but he's been all over the place already, so it's been in every kill they have.
It's been a reaction, though, to Infamous. Like, Infamous have just been trying to, like, get in their faces on every part of this map.
Yeah. LGD are just a bit faster and a bit better at combining their spells and being the right heroes in there at the right times. I think a big part of why the flow of the game is the way it is just that Nyx has been annoying in mid from the beginning. This mana burn has made Puck suffer quite a lot and given Storm a very good game. And Infamous's counterplay was reliant on Doom getting a good creep and getting a level or two, and that just takes time. And they had to wait for that for a while. Amy?
Yeah, he's getting annoyed. Matthew's staying in range to leech experience, and he's trying to push him out twice. Took the Magnus to move over to get him to leave. Cal Victoria's just trying to counter Tomato a little bit. Just walk him. Take the orb by triggering Carapace. Very easy setup for Nyx Assassin to do that against Tomato.
It breaks raindrops with it. It's kind of nice.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty cheap raindrop break. 40 mana to just take a raindrop off every time.
The rune's on bottom, so Somnus not so lucky. It's going to be a double damage rune. Tomato, he's a lucky man, going down for it. His net worth's looking pretty damn good, 3.1k. He's still 600 behind the Storm Spirit. That's obviously going to happen when Storm Spirit gets kills later into this early game.
Yeah, given how the lanes went though, this is looking pretty good for Tomato overall. This could have gone way worse after the start he had with the first blood and the Nyx being annoying, as we talked about already. But the question I have for Infamous is, when does their lineup really come together? Because I think right now LGD has the Storm and Nyx can keep finding kills together when Nyx gets this fast level 6 that he's cruising toward. They already have 6 on the Shaman, and they can just farm faster because they have this empower buff up for the troll. Oh, King Tech is in trouble.
Yeah, he's dead. This is LG smoke gank down to bottom lane. You got Matthew causing a couple of problems, and King Tekker, well, maybe not dead. Burrow strikes up, TP support's coming in. He will make it back at range of his shrine in time. A little bit further down, Matthew trying to tank through everything Storm Spirit and Yao is throwing at him, which was quite a lot to tank. 2 points up in Scorched Earth, plus having the raindrops. But it wasn't enough at the end of the day. But you did bring 4 heroes from LGD to the bottom lane. The only one who didn't move was 11, giving more space for Tomato. You've still got Benjaz just free farming up on top, and it seems a big secret to Infamous's, well, not that secret, just the way they seem to win is when Benjaz gets a lot of farm on the core, they run in and then he just has success in the fights. Just pure to the fact he got, just because of the space on top lane.
Yeah, he's not really pulling ahead though, that's the problem. There's multiple cores on the opposite side that are doing just as well or better than him.
Yeah.
So, in order to pull ahead as Juggernaut in this type of game, he needs to find kills, because he's playing against an Empower Troll. He's not going to outfarm that. Even if he goes Battle Fury, I still don't think he's going to outfarm the Troll. Maybe they can close the distance then, but Amy should be having a very good game against the Juggernaut. And it's in addition to that, it's not just the farming amount. As we said in the draft, it's also a favorable matchup for the Troll in general. So,
yeah.
It's got to be a bit worrying for Infamous here. I think they need to try to activate their Sand King and Puck together and try to look for some kills with smoke. Oh, they even lose that courier here. That's bad news. Hey, Victoria got it.
He's just letting off his team for not winning the prediction point.
Oh, it was actually Storm who did the most magic damage as well. He was so active, Toby. We should have just gone for it.
Yeah, we didn't believe enough in Somnus. It's because we're still a little bit maybe about him.
Hey.
Hey.
Here goes the bottom tower and the top tower.
Yep.
This is something we've also been talking about. I mentioned it a bit on day one. This exact play you are going to be seeing a lot during this tournament, where the safe lane towers get exchanged because of how difficult they are to defend, both of them, and how the timing in the game generally just favors that the teams just swap sides and go for that tower.
It also makes a lot of sense when you run a hero like a Shadow Shaman, looking for that easy push with the Mass Serpent Wards to start with. Now, Tomato trying to actually have a crack at Amy, and the reason why is because you got a smoke maneuver from the rest of Infamous. They're rotating up, Sentry Ward's down, but Victoria, he breaks the smoke. They don't have the detection to trigger at the moment as Victoria looks into the back line, sees everyone coming, and LGD, they have a choice. And their choice is actually to TP out the Troll Warlord. They're not going to fight.
Nope. 5-man smoke fails, they get a lot of information, and they can just cross over to the opposite side of the map and kill one. I think it's a good choice to avoid this fight, just because of the Magnus hasn't skilled him his ulti yet. He's playing without RP on level 10. Just taking the farming route here with Spell Amp, and looking to just get big, whereas Infamous, with these kind of moves being unsuccessful, they're losing a lot of time, and that just means, once again, that LGD's farming pattern will just be more effective. You can keep... This is the type of graph that is very telling of the game. Like, when the graph is going like this, 12 minutes in, one team's draft or playstyle is just, like, really outplaying the other one.
Yeah.
And in this game, I feel like it's a bit of both.
It's when Infamous feels like they're close, but really, they're losing control.
Yeah.
Victoria's on a hunt once more. You'll find King Tekker just farming up some Alpha Wolves. Storm Spirit's nearby. At the same time, if Victoria goes on this, it's not going to work. The smoke instantly breaks. This Nyx Assassin, that's twice now has happened. They put down the Sentry Ward, and Victoria doesn't know he just did what he did. He never actually saw the smoke effect.
Oh, now it's going to stop TPS. Oh, close. Thinking did get the TP to top. And that's another failed move, so...
Yeah.
So LGD just pushed almost a full tier 2 top here. is down very low, and other heroes are also pushing in bottom. They're kind of just kiting Infamous around the map while out farming them.
But it's that issue of the Nyx Assassin. A reason why, like, you start to ponder the question, why is Nyx Assassin not banned in the first phase every time? Like, in almost every game that I've watched so far on the group stage, it's been Nyx Assassin causing problems. Be it through, like, stopping smoke gangs, finding extra vision, being the team that has the better information when they go for initiation.
It's been a really powerful hero so far.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna get even more love later on as well. But
I think it's going to get more hatred later on.
You can't ban everything. You gotta let something through.
That is true.
There's multiple other heroes that you also really don't want to give away if they're feeling confident.
Matthew, he can do. He's acting like, I don't know if he's trying to act like he doesn't see what's here, but okay, yeah.
Nice
doesn't need to do. Waits it up, and Vendetta was stolen by the Rubik. So now he can be their ward.
Oh, that's actually a really nice steal.
If they can get close enough to catch somebody out.
Looking at a 5k lead right now for LGD. Almost 6. Just once again keeping the farm up. So this is what's funny to me, right? Like, now the game is playing out like I thought it would in the first 10 minutes. Now there's just like this farming pattern and slow play, which is just very characteristic for this type of lineup. They just wanted to have a little bit of a brawl in the beginning on top of that. But now it's slowing down, and that is clearly favoring LGD. And Infamous, once again, will have to find some sort of opening. They just wasted 2 smokes, though, and that's really expensive. And that's also the reason this Vendetta steal is so powerful right now, because they need to compensate for their lack of smokes to try to get information. And Rubik will find the Storm.
But Storm Spirit, he doesn't want to stick around. He doesn't see anybody. They have the Observer Wards down. Benjaz is TPing off the bottom lane, so no one's farming mid or pushing mid. You've got King Tekka as well as Tomato showing himself up on top. So LGD are reading the fact that Infamous are ready to pressure in from the north. And here we go for trade-off again. Tier 1 for Tier 1 tower.
This trade is a lot less common, but it will obviously happen from time to time. These towers are way easier for the defensive team to protect and deal with, but if the rotations are this way, you can't defend now. You have 5 heroes on either side, more or less. And if you start TPing up heroes, it becomes apparent.
Yep.
And if they all want to TP in close to the tower, then there's so much delay on the TPs that you're outnumbered.
That's why now, like, if LGD keep pushing, you can come in from behind. You can use the shrines. 11's baiting him to come in with the RP, but then you got a Vendetta Rubik. He can move in closer. There's no sentry ward down just yet. Shadow Shaman is holding on to one of them, but Rubik needs some good control, some good vision, and he's giving all of it.
He's getting so much information right now.
It's actually not bad for Tomato. Farmed up the Mass Serpent mods and is now able to afford up his Veil of Discord.
Yep. Veil and Blinks minus 16. It's pretty decent timing.
Do you think you have enough for Cell?
Not on his own.
And Storm Spirit. He's still got the Arcane Rune.
They could snipe the Shaman here if Puck could connect with a Blink. Like 2 Vendetta heroes running past each other's ships in the night. And nothing happens. There's just too much information available to both sides. They can do with it as they will.
And LGD aren't under any kind of pressure, right? Like they don't have to fight. It's Infamous that have to force the issue.
Yep.
And they're getting information, but they're not finding the opening they want. Like, the only thing they found was the Storm Spirit, who they know they can't kill off before he gets away unless Doom is able to close the distance. But there's too much vision on the Doom.
I think King Tekka could be in trouble here in bottom lane. They do have 2 heroes here. I think this duo can kill him when they have Vendetta ready. He might be getting out in time. He's getting out in time.
Because he's still got Sandstorm as well as Blink.
Oh, Shaman had a sentry. They could have definitely killed him there. If Nyx had ulti, he would be dead. But he did not have it. So they couldn't connect.
Infamous are bringing numbers down. They're invading the Radiant jungle once more. Gotta try and find their target. Gotta be careful, however. Magnus does have Blink RP available. So Victoria is now again getting the information. Sees a lot. That Observer Ward also scattered the Juggernaut moving down south. So LGD, they'll have to choose soon. Do they want to lose their tier 2 tower?
I think they will try to defend after taking the mid tier 1, actually.
Oh, they fortified it by a little bit of extra time. Tier 1 tower does go down the mid. Damn, he's so quick at doing that. Where's your TP?
Oh, they're going Roche. They're just going to go Roche instead.
Okay, so a tier 1 for a tier 2 plus Roshan for LGD.
Yeah, good trade for them if they manage to pull this off.
And the courier is scouting Nyx Assassin. All Storm. Oh, Benjaz will be able to finish off the tower. Somnus just jumping forward. Confidence. Maybe making Infamous believe they're going for a fight which will take attention away from other objectives like Roshan. Which Troll Warlord will take now. Wait, are they? Yeah, they saw Nyx. Dust.
He's hasted as well.
Yeah, you can't control it. Tomato does have his blink as well, so a blink into Dream Coil. They can lock him down. If Victoria decides to get a little bit cute, which he did beautifully. He actually spiked Carapace, so the Caustic Finale would trigger. I believe that's actually what he just did then.
Yep. Sounds likely. So Nyx is a pretty good hero against Sanking, because the way Sanking plays fights is a lot about weaving in and out and has these abilities that all deal damage. So if you Carapace at the right time, you can mess with him quite a lot. It could have also just been a Sandstorm there. You could have Carapaced the Sandstorm. He could have Carapaced the Burrow Strike if he predicts that's coming in. And even when Sandking Epicenter's in, if you're Carapaced, he will not be able to really land his stun instantly. So Nyx is just good against a lot of heroes.
Oh, fight's coming on top lane. Where's that vision from the Radiant? It's not in deep enough yet. They just leave one defensive ward, but eyes are on the Doom. And walking around with a Dust, and Troll just blinks forward, looking for the kill on Matthew. They'll get the Burrow Strike off, and now with the Dream Core catching 3 and the Silence on 3. This is Infamous's fight. The Mass Serpent wants it down. RP really not doing anything because he never got it off. He died too quickly. Aegis Immortal has brought the Troll back to life again. Benjaz has to start retreating out. Meanwhile, Storm looking for King Tekka, who Burrow Strikes himself away with a double stun, trying to get the distance. The Healing Ward cannot give enough regeneration. But Infamous with a 2-2 trade-off. Mass Serpent Wards are away from the tower. And Aegis is burned, as you said.
Infamous would have won this fight really hard if Juggernaut had mana enough for his ultimate, but he didn't. There was no Omnislash in that fight even. He would have got a secondary kill on the Troll, perhaps.
That moment you need to Mango.
I'm not sure why his mana was so low, though. He used Spin and Healing Ward. I guess he used Spin, Healing Ward, and TP, and then maybe his Manta, then he doesn't have the mana anymore. That's a problem that Juggernaut has to deal with in his itemization. You generally see Juggers go for this build where you have Ring of Aquila into Manta style, but some Juggers do a drum on the way to solve this problem. Not in Benjaz's build, though. He's going to go for the Diffusal, which will also help a bit on the mana front. And now he's flying out of Clarity. That's a bit too late. But,
better late than never.
He needs to stay full mana all the time in case a fight breaks out, else the LGD side will be able to abuse the fact that Omnislash is not present. I think in that fight, Benjaz, it's easy to say afterwards, but I think it's better for him to probably just get the Omnislash off rather than the spin, and then play around afterwards. But it was a really good spin too, so it's hard to say whether it would have been better or not. But the position that Tomato set up for them was really good, so I think he could have maybe even survived without his spin afterwards.
But with that 3-man call, huh?
Oh, Victoria. Oh, they didn't see him.
Yeah, they moved to the other side, but they may be really
kill.
happy about it if they can kill off the Troll. No! He'll blink down King Tekka. He got close. But not close enough. They did actually see that Radiant Sentry Ward there. But they don't want to kill it off. It still reveals their position, or confirms their position, if they do it. So instead, Infamous look towards the mid. And LGD, maybe this time 11 will be able to get that RP off. Now he's got a Shadow Blade available.
They might smoke here.
Yep, 5-man smoke. Troll Warlord was in range though, and he'll actually break his smoke to Infamous. Yeah, they ping. They were paying attention. So LGD gonna go for a wraparound. But who do they find? Infamous are pretty tight in together.
Oh, Benjaz, this is so greedy. If he gets caught here, this is going to be awful for Infamous. This is so bad of a position next to the enemy shrine.
It's either that or he is the trap. He missed the first stun, gets his spin off. SL able to actually get the lift into the tomb, onto the Storm Spirit. He'll have the regeneration thanks to the fact they're fighting on top of the shrine. RP catching 2, but then it's actually not RP stolen. It was only Skewer from SL. There's nothing more he can do. Amy's already got himself a triple kill. And on 2 out of the 3 cores of Infamous to boot.
If Infamous want to make this play, you either commit fully or you don't go. And the problem there is that the Rubik and the Doom set up the Storm next to the shrine, but the Juggernaut didn't get in. And then, you know, this is already an inferior fighting position where LGD are coming in smoke from the bottom side, and they get a good 2-hero RP skewer into the shrine, into the Serpent Wards. The fight is over.
Yep.
They have to all in pounce and just see what picks they can get immediately to build themselves an advantage in this shrine fight, or they need to not even be there. It was very greedy, in my opinion, from Benjes to farm the Ancients in this position.
Just trying to be efficient.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Infamous has the right idea that they're trying to set up a fight like that, where maybe they position themselves so LGD show first, and then they get the jump. But the problem is that that fighting position is just too bad. There's even an Observer Ward from the Radiant placed there as well at the shrine, so it's unlikely. If Infamous want to spring this exact trap, they need someone to stand in the tree line below the shrine so that the smoke pops before they head in. And they have all the information, then ideally they also have a ward down, and then they can...
Infamous are coming again. The jump up, wow. Matthew takes so much damage. The BKB triggered from the Troll Warlord. Somnus doesn't find his opening just yet, but the Troll Warlord, the never-ending bash onto Benjas. He goes for the Omni Slash now, but gets bashed the second he gets out of it. The Troll versus Chugger, we talked about it. And that is Exhibit A, B, and C of how superior it is. We've got a skewering chicken from Rubik, but that is not enough to escape the Troll's mouth.
And this could be...
It could be mid-racks. It could even be game.
They can't reach the racks before the entirety of Infamous respawn, but LGD have to be feeling how far ahead they are based on these couple of fights, so they might just go for it.
They have RP up right now, like it just came off cooldown. You've got 18 Bloodstone charges on a Storm Spirit.
Yeah, this should be racks, actually. They have Serpent Wards and Empower running. Epicenter.
Oh, he'll commit it. King Tekka, the damage is decent, but Yao doesn't die, and now Somnus controls him. King Tekka will fall. There was no follow. The puck just wasn't there, and now he gets RP'd skewered into Vortex, just thrown around like a rag doll, jumps forward, at least can kill off the Shaman, but loses his life, and it just seems like Infamous are trying to get a couple of kills to their name. Victoria might help them out with that one. He'll have Spike Carapace, second he hits the ground, but throws out the stun instead. The Tier 3 tower is lost, and LGD... couple of consolation prizes given to Infamous.
They didn't get the racks, but they still got kills and the tower, so... what was that trade overall? I think it was 2 for 2.
Yep, and an extra 2 Bloodstone charges into the Storm Spirit.
Yep. That was a pretty clutch play, by the way, from Matthew there with the Glimmer Cape onto the Puck. I thought Puck was just going to die during that RP, but they got the Glimmer off. He got the phase off, he jumped in and killed the Shadow Shaman, almost got out. If it wasn't for Spike Carapace, that could have been a kill into escape for Tomato, but Nyx Victoria was fast in the moment, and therefore LGD should just be probably looking to either wait for the next Roshan or just go for a smoke play right now and try to end the game. If they take any good fight on the enemy side of the map, the game ends. They can actually just get 2 sides of racks, or maybe even all the way to the throne if they win a good fight. So,
well, Roshan could be up in about 10 seconds time, so we'll keep our eyes very closely on him.
Infamous need to be on their toes now. And again, I think they have to look for a fight themselves once again. It's not easy, though.
They're looking for one. It's the Troll Warlord. Oh, no! He used the wrong target, so they'll Dream Coil onto the Troll Warlord. Matthew's trying to get in range, and now the Troll, they turn around on the Doombringer. There goes your Omni Slash, but Benjas, the damage is minimal until now. He does the spin onto Yao, but Amy right on the money. Benjas will fall. Tomato goes on the run, but the Orchid is also there from the Storm Spirit. A silenced up Puck, can't go anywhere, and GG is called. Infamous understand this game is definitely over.
Pretty clean game overall from LGD. There were a couple of minor mistakes, but they understood their lineup very well, what it could do, what it needed to do. Maybe even did a bit better than expected in the lanes. The Storm kill in mid, for example, or rather the Nyx kill on the Puck in the beginning, a couple of extras that he found, propelled them into a pretty easy mid game. This was a very predictable game after minute like 10, just because you could just see the tendency of the game, how it was going. Infamous tried their best to find the smoke picks, they didn't get them, then they were like cornered and out farmed and eventually just get rolled over. We got one prediction.